Bye.
Hello friends, my name is Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. Here we talk about all things Disney as well as how to plan your Walt Disney World vacation. So if that is something that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. Okay guys, so as a lot of you know, a few weeks ago we got back from our trip to Walt Disney World, and this was our very first trip as annual pass holders. Now this was this did kind of change our trip a little bit. It was our first time ever being annual pass holders, so we were learning quite a lot. So this whole video today is going to be all about my top 9 things I wish I would have known before I had an annual pass. Okay, so number 1, the first thing that I wish I would have known was that you can only activate your annual pass at either one of the 4 theme parks or Disney Springs. You can't do it at like your hotel or online or anything like that. So you do have to kind of set specific time out of your travel day on that very first trip to go and actually activate your pass. Along with this, number 2 was that you have to have your pass activated before you can check into your hotel in order to get that annual pass discount for your room. Now this was like a whole thing, you guys. I've kind of mentioned this before in a video where I had kind of like my plan of what I was gonna do, but this is what we actually ended up doing. We used Orlando Transportation by Mike to go directly from the airport to Disney Springs. So we did not get a ride Magical Express, which was kind of sad, but it was okay because it probably actually did save us quite a bit of time. But from Disney Springs, we were able to activate our annual pass and we took the bus back to Pop Century. Now, because we did not use Magical Express, we actually had our luggage with us, so we kind of were walking around Disney Springs with our luggage. But I did find out you are allowed to use the Disney buses with your luggage. Like, you can take that on the bus. I wasn't sure if you were able to do that or not, but we were okay there. We were able to go from Disney Springs back to Pop Century and then check into our hotel. That way we were able to get that discount. Okay, so this brings us to number 3. We did not utilize this on this trip, but we will be utilizing it on our future trip that we are going on with some friends. We will potentially be booking multiple rooms. We have annual passes and our friends do not. But as long as you put all of the room reservations under the person who has the annual pass's name. So for example, I have an annual pass. If we put our room and then our friend's room both under Kayla, then both rooms we can get that discount for. So that's kind of neat, something to kind of think about if you are traveling in like a larger group and maybe one of you has an annual pass or one of you is planning on getting an annual pass. It is nice that you can actually book that discount for multiple rooms. And kind of bouncing off of that, number 4, you only have to have one person in your party with an annual pass in order to get annual pass discounts. So if it's one of those things where you are kind of wanting to utilize some of those discounts and the memory maker that's included and things like that, you can only have one person get the annual pass and then everybody in your group basically gets to kind of bounce off of that. Now going back to planning, one thing I was a little nervous about was how we were going to book our fast passes. As with an annual pass, technically you can only book 30 days out because you have tickets basically every day for a whole year. So I was a little nervous that I was like, well, okay, so are we going to be able to book it 60 days out or not? I'm not sure. We did find out that as long as your annual pass ticket is linked to your hotel reservation, you can still book those fast passes 60 days out. Now again, you must have a hotel reservation in order to get that 60-day mark. If you are staying off property at maybe like a Good Neighbor hotel or any other non-Disney owned resort, you do have to wait until the 30-day mark to book those fast passes. Number 6, kind of the same thing ish. The dining plan, Disney dining plans, that was another thing that was a little like, well, can we actually get that since we have, because it's done based on your room stay but also your park tickets. I was curious to know if we were even allowed to get those, and it turns out yes, you can. Again, your ticket does have to be, your annual pass does have to be linked to your hotel reservation. That way they can see that yes, you will be going for a certain amount of days. But yes, you are actually able to have any of the Disney dining plans added to your reservation as long as you have a Disney hotel and your annual pass. All right, and number 7. So I knew that you do get a magic band with your annual pass. I was a little confused because our annual pass wasn't activated yet. And so I was like, well, okay, are we still gonna get magic bands, or is the magic band just basically linked because of our hotel? Like, were we actually gonna get new magic bands for our trip? I'm not sure. So basically what ended up happening, I called Disney and they told me that as long as your annual pass is linked to your hotel reservation, they actually do go ahead and send you magic bands. However, it is not your magic band that comes with your annual pass. It's just your normal hotel magic band. So the magic bands that we got before our trip, we did actually have to request those. Those don't necessarily automatically come to you if you have an annual pass. So we did have to call Pop Century and say, hey, we do want magic bands before our trip. So they were basically kind of just like you would normally get. And then after our trip, after our passes had been activated, they did send us our annual pass magic bands. So we just got those. I would say we probably got them about a week or so after we got back from our trip, so we won't be able to use them until the next time we go on our trip, but we do have them. Along with this, I knew you do also get like your annual pass holder magnet. They have the ones that you can get at the festivals, but they have just like the standard Mickey head annual pass holder magnet, and that they also mail to you after your pass has been activated. So that actually came in a separate package from our magic bands. So we got our magic bands first, and then I would say about a week after that we got another like envelope that was the annual pass holder magnet, along with all of the details about being an annual pass holder, what discounts you get, what all that means, and that sort of thing. So those two things will come separately. Don't have a panic attack because I was real mad that I didn't get a magnet with my magic band, but we did. It just came a little bit later. All right, and number 8, you will want to park hop a lot. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but park hopping is a lot of fun. It's cool because if a park starts to get really crowded, or you're just kind of wanting to take a little bit of a break and go do something else for a little while, it is nice that you are able to park hop and do all of that. But because of that, you kind of feel like you want to park hop because you want to use your annual pass to its best capacity. And so you will want to kind of just be prepared that when you're there, you may end up wanting to kind of switch things around, and you're going to want to go to some different parks and things. Okay guys, my final thing that I wish I would have known before I bought my annual pass is that you probably won't actually save any money. Let me tell you why. So you get this annual pass, right? You've crunched all these numbers to see, is this gonna be worth it? Am I gonna break even? All of this fun stuff. Cool. And then you have your annual pass And you get home from your first trip and you're like, you start doing some numbers in your head and you start looking at flights and hotel rates and you're like, we could go back and do like a really short trip. Yeah, and it wouldn't be very expensive. That's not bad. You guys, it's a real problem. But you will probably end up justifying going on more trips than you normally would if you did not have an annual pass, because you want to, again, you want to use your pass to its fullest. I mean, you've paid a lot of money for it, and so you're like, well, dang, I need to use this as much as I possibly can before it expires. And because of that, you go to Disney more than what you had intended, and yes, you were able to get discounts, but in the long run, you ended up spending more money because you went to Disney more. Is this a bad thing? I don't know, that's up to you. But it is something that I kind of wish I would have thought about, because we may have done things a little bit differently, but that's okay, totally fine. Alrighty guys, well those were my top things that I wish I would have known about Disney's annual pass before I bought an annual pass. Are you an annual pass holder? Were there some things that you didn't know about? Please share those with me. I always love hearing all these tips and tricks and all of that fun stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you do subscribe, make sure you also hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way you're notified every time I upload new videos. If you have missed out on any of our trip videos, make sure that you check those out. But other than that,